biggest crowd we've had in a long time. A lot of noise back there.
With a live audience at the Gold Dust Lounge at Fisherman's Wharf, it's the Will and Willie Show. Brought to you by Lefty O'Doul's Drink Mixes, your bartender in a bottle. I'm Paul Wells.
I'm Will Durst.
And I'm Willie Brown.
And it's great to be here at the Gold Dust Lounge at Fisherman's Wharf. So one of the great things that Lefty O'Doul's and the Bovis family does is the Lefty O'Doul's Foundation for Kids, and we're less than a month away. Gloves Across the Bay Gala Benefit, Thursday, April 3rd, 2014 at 6 p.m. at the Broadway Gill at 1400 Broadway in Burlingame, and you can purchase your tickets online. It's the annual way that kids get gloves, and it's kidsneedbaseball.com.
Gloves Across the Bay. It's a gala benefit, and I love galas, but a gala day is enough for me.
Well, Crimea River. Let's look at
Crimea.
Crimea River. I cried a river over you.
That
Now,
sounds like you're thinking Ukrainian.
Yes, as in
we
the
gotta
Crimea.
we gotta preface this with this was recorded in advance. We don't know what's happening
Right.
over there.
The
There
Russian
may be
tanks. Yeah, already in there like they did in Afghanistan. Roll them in.
But the West has made it very clear, at least to the time of broadcast, that they don't intend to provide any kind of ground force assistance. They really are hoping that there can be enough pressure put on Mr. Putin that he will not use the tanks.
Well, Mr. Putin seems to have Mr. Obama's number.
Pootie?
What?
Pootie, that's what W used to call him.
Pootie, yeah.
Yeah.
He's,
I mean, we remember the Jedi mind trick he used on him during Syria. You know, you don't need to pay any attention to Bashar al-Assad. I have all this taken care of. And I think he might be running the same thing right now. It's interesting, the timing on this. Do you think that Ukrainians waited because he couldn't do anything during the Olympics because he was so proud of the Olympics and Russia winning the most medals, and you knew that they could do whatever they wanted. I'm surprised they didn't start this earlier.
well, but they did succeed. During the course of the Olympics, they got rid of the guy that had been kind of the stooge guy that Putin had put in charge there. They ran him out. They then proceeded to take over all the governmental entities. They lost almost 100 people in the process.
Right.
There were 100 people who died, and most of them were the Ukrainian protesters. But you know, it was interesting, Will, how when you saw these people on television, they all had on ski masks. And my guess is they had on the ski masks because they know at some point the tanks were coming. And they didn't want to be identified as having been a part of the protest, knowing that that'll probably be the end of their lives. Now, Putin obviously is fairly forceful and fairly aggressive because the Olympics were totally safe. And they were safe because everybody whose name they had that had done anything potentially was literally put under house arrest and kept under house arrest the entire time of the Olympics, period. Anybody that had a criminal record anywhere in that sphere of influence, plus they had the process more difficult to go through than trying to get on an airplane in California or in New York in terms of searches, etc. So there was not one incident in the Olympics. He was determined that there would not be one incident in the Olympics. On the other hand, maybe, just maybe, it will carry over into the Ukrainian situation, and he will not want the world to see how brutal he can really be.
Well, they did have the members of the Pussy Riot detained and arrested. Yes.
We'll get to that later this segment, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it's on your list.
Oh, well, Pussy Riot was also whipped.
Yes.
The soldiers who came to
I'm glad you
arrest
put
them
a few words in
whipped
between
them,
that.
and there's a shot of it, of them being whipped. At the back of was it the New York Daily News? I think it was either the New York Post or the New York Daily News. The cover shot was the girls of the band being whipped, and the title was Pussy Whipped. Gotta love the Post.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And Putin, a lot of people have forgotten that he ran the KGB under the old Soviet Union, and when it imploded and collapsed in 1991, that's how Ukraine got control of Crimea, which is the port on the Black Sea that he doesn't want to give up now.
And it was how he came into power. On the collapse, KGB became the interested arm that still had the troops and the wherewithal and the power, and he was the head of KGB. And he's rotated the president with the...
Medvedev.
That's right. Who is now the spokesperson with reference to the Ukrainian situation. Putin is not the spokesperson. They're using the original guy that was in charge, who was raising all kinds of questions, and I would guess that if anything's going to happen, he'll be the guy that people will point to.
Medvedev?
Medvedev, yeah.
And the thing about being an ex-KGB agent, I don't know if that's actually the proper way to refer to, because you're never ex-KGB. You know what you call an ex-KGB agent? Dead. That's right. Everybody in the audience knows. So it's kind of like the same thing with the CIA here.
I think we're in the same soup we were in during the Cold War, and it could get as hot as that did.
Well, my guess is that Putin probably is more comfortable with a Cold War edict, because after all, he's not much of an international traveler. He's not much of an international participant.
He loves to take his shirt off.
And but he also likes to do that on one of his own beaches. He really...
Yeah. He doesn't do it on foreign beaches.
No foreign beaches.
No topless beaches for him.
No gay beaches.
At no point is anybody in his administration interacting with the rest of the world. So he may be very comfortable not having anything to do with the rest of the world as long as there's no threat to the integrity of his power.
And I think America is losing its appetite for foreign entanglements. I don't think America right now, after Afghanistan and Iraq, which an incursion that cost what? Trillions of dollars? Trillions of dollars.
And lots of lives. Lots and lots
of
of
American lives. Yeah.
But even more devastating is the number of people who came back with injuries that are still out there that we have to take care of, frankly, forever. And so you are correct. I don't think the U.S. government has an appetite for any more foreign engagements, and that may be why nothing has really happened with Syria.
Syria and now Ukraine. It's not the Ukraine. It used to be the Ukraine.
No, it's Ukraine.
Yeah, it's just Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Now. Yeah,
but the Russians don't like them just like they don't like the Georgians. And when I broadcast back in 1990 from Moscow before the Soviet Union fell to San Francisco, when I was doing the lobster breakfast on mornings.
The Soviet Union fell to San Francisco?
No, we broadcast back from Moscow.
Oh, thank God.
And the people in Moscow did not like the Georgians, because my morning show partner, the pizza dude, got some of his stuff stolen, and right away they blamed it on the Georgians. Must be those Georgians.
Nah.
Got to be those Georgians. They're the one who did it. Hey, you did a great top 10 list.
I did.
And we have a few moments left in this segment.
I did. This is the top 10 the 2014 Political Animal Awards. And, of course, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it award goes to Chris Christie.
The other end of 80, which starts on the Willie Brown Bridge.
The best disappearing act goes to Mitt Romney.
Who?
Exactly. The worst disappearing act
for the number one
goes to Bill Clinton.
Yeah, the worst disappearing act. He just sent me an email.
Hey, Will, it's all yours.
Yeah. Yes,
They're fabulous.
These are the 10 best of the over
guy.
30. Yes,
I
they're
hope
all
no one
well.
is listening so I can make this my column.
As long as we plug our show next Sunday, Mr. Mayor.
The Let's All Hold Hands and Sing Kumbaya Award goes to U.S. President Barack Obama. The Let's Not All Hold Hands and Sing Kumbaya Award goes to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Mensa's Smartest Man of the Year Award goes to Pussy Riot.
That's a double entendre there,
See,
ladies and gentlemen.
there.
Let's hear it for
Smartest
double
man
entendres.
Never
Yay.
mind. Yeah.
We can do that on radio. Yeah.
The Oh God No, Not You Again Award goes to Ted Nugent.
Yeah. Does anybody know what the definition of mongrel is? He apparently kind of skirted that.
Well, people are all it's
A mixed breed
The
dog.
Dumber Than He Looks award goes to Toronto Mayor Rob Ford.
And it's true.
Very
Yeah.
difficult, because he looks pretty dumb.
Deer in the Headlights award, too. Huh?
The Not As Dumb As His Hair Looks award for the 8th consecutive year, Donald Trump.
Yes, hair flapping in the breeze.
And finally, the Proof That Some Species Eat Their Young for a Good Reason award, Justin Bieber.
Yay! The 2014 Political Animal Awards
That is
by
a
Will Durst.
wonderful drum roll.
You like that?
Thank you, Michael.
We also have pictures. We have one with Donald Trump with his flap flying in the breeze.
That's why he can't be president.
That's why, yeah. Well, he
Great
wasn't
set of
born here,
awards.
was he?
Yeah.
Great set of awards.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you. So
Where
that's
are
we're coming close to the end of our second
The
segment.
second segment.
What do we got
a lot
coming up,
more.
Paul Wells?
Well, all right. We still haven't talked about the FCC's CIN study, the study that one of the commissioners said, oh, let's find out how newscasters pick awards. And good thing, too, that we'll cover that in the next segment because we have ABC Channel 7 news anchor Dan Ashley as a guest.
the lovely and talented Dan Ashley.
And then after we're done recording our 1-hour show,
San Francisco's favorite newsman named Dan.
right here on our stage, Dan Ashley and his band Push will perform.
Doing a rain dance, I hope.
When we're done recording our Will and Willie show, brought to you by Lefty O'Doul's Drink Mixes. And if you miss any part, the video and the audio, if you don't catch the whole radio show,
where's the video
WillAndWillie.com. The video is shot by MySourceTV.com. You can find it there, too.
My Source TV.
Yes.
And we'll also find out why Willie is momentarily distressed. You will give us a rundown, yes?
I'm not really distressed.
No.
I want you to know. I present problems to the people that can't fix me.
Well, the self-administered morphine drip helps a
Absolutely,
little bit.
absolutely.
I see you with your little finger like that doing.
It's kind of amazing what they do these days, and because they have all kinds of new gadgets that are supposed to be, designed to give you some level of comfort, and they show you on the screen what's happening with you. So I said, now wait a minute. You tell me you're gonna put me under, but you're gonna show me on the screen. I'm not gonna be under looking on the screen. What is that all about? Then they hook things up to you. I said, what is that one for? They said that's to test to make sure that you have enough oxygen. I know you can tell the oxygen by my finger. And then the second finger is
Which finger?
They want to keep the blood pressure because if it starts going up and
Right.
down, there are certain things they need to do to you, with pharmaceutical products to make it work. And then they put a thing in your nose. So what is that for? That's to give you oxygen, so it might show up over there if you need it. So you got one of those things in your nose. It looks like you're dying. You know how you got all it hooked onto you, all these, and then it's amazing. They put
The IV.
right in your hand, but they got other. You ought to see my arm. I look like a junkie with all of the things that. If I got popped out there on the street, say, take one look, say, and then they look at my pocket and they, whoa, you put labels on them. You think you bought them at Walgreens. I mean, this medical science is incredible, absolutely incredible. And then they test when they're going to put something in you. They now have a system by which they test whether or not it's going to go in the right place. So they put the needle in, but they don't put the stuff in they're going to put in you. They put in something with color and allow you to determine whether or not that's the right spot.
All right.
So they follow the color through
They
your body?
follow the color. That is correct.
All right, speaking of Walgreens, because we stole our theme back, down on the corner, otherwise known as Willie and the Poor Boys, because we're with Willie, you and me, Will. It's the Will and Willie Show, live from the Gold Dust Lounge at Fisherman's Wharf. And we'll be back in a moment with the second half of today's program, live. The Gold Dust Lounge, brought to you by Lefty O'Doul's Drink Mixes, your bartender
in a bottle.
And our live audience, let's hear it for you for being here today.
I like that.
165 Jefferson is where you find the new Gold Dust Lounge at Fisherman's Wharf. Come by, it's a great place to hang out.
And it's a line drive to
Key lime margarita?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Just watch.
Whoa.
Hi.
Go for it.
Thanks.
What about me?
Got you covered.
Hey.
Whoa.
Hey.
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 Lefty O'Doul's drink mixes at these fine stores.
What are you doing? I'm getting the girl back.